Well, hello there. Welcome here to my place. I am here doing a Wednesday Bible reading. It's been a while since I've done one, so I'm doing one today. I actually been on schedule with all my videos this week. I think I've been posting every single day this week, starting with Sunday's Bible reading. So I'm super excited about that. Tomorrow or Friday, since I am consistently posting this week, so I don't know what next week gonna bring, God's willing. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do my Valentine house tour this week. But anyways, let me get started with the Bible reading today. And we are reading the New Testament, Matthew chapter 26. That is Wednesday's Bible reading. So let's get it started. Matthew 26, New Testament. Now it came to pass when Jesus had finished all these saying that he said to his disciples, "You know that after 2 days is the Passover, and the Son of Man will be delivered up to be crucified." Then the chief priest, the scribe, and the elder of the people assumed assembly at the place of the high priest who was called, and plotted to take Jesus by trickery and killing him. But they said, "Not during the feast, lest there be an uproar among the people." And when Jesus was in Bethany at the house of Simon the leper, a woman came to him, having a flask of very costly fragrant oil, and she pronounced on his head, and he sat at the table. But when his disciples saw it, they were ignorant. I don't know that word, sorry. Saying, "Why this waste? For this fragment oil might have been sold for much and given to the poor." But when Jesus was aware of it, he said to them, "Why do you trouble the woman? For she has done a good work for me. For you have the poor with you always, but me I do not have always. For in pouring this fragment oil on my body, she did it for my burial. Certainly I say to you, whenever this gospel is preached in the whole world, what this woman has done will also be told as a memorial to her." Then one of the 12, called Judas, went to the chief priest and said, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver him to you?" And the count out to him 30 pieces of silver. So from that time he sought opportunity to betray him. Now that the first day of the feast of the unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying to him, "Where do you want us to prepare for you to eat Passover?" And he said, "Go in the city of the man and say to him, the teacher saying, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples." So the disciples did as Jesus had directed to them. And they prepared the Passovers. When even had come, he sat down with the 12. Now, as they were eating, he said, "Certainly, I say to you, one of you will betray me, and they will sorrowful to each of them, beginning to say to him." He answered and said, "He who dipped his hand with me in this dish will betray me. The Son of Man indeed goes just as it is written of him. But behold to that man by whom the Son of the Man betrayed. I would have been good for that man if he had not been born." Then who was betraying him answered and said, It is. He said to him, you said to it. And they were eating Jesus' bread, blessed and broken it, and it gave it to the disciples and said, take it. Take, eat. This is my body. Then he took the cup and gave thanks and gave to saying, drink it, all of you, for my blood of the new conversation, which is she for many of the missions of sin. But I say to you, I will not drink of this fruit if the vine from now on until the day when I drink it anew with you, my Father kingdom. And when they had sung the hymns, they went out to Mount of Olives. Then Jesus said to them, all of you will be made stumble because of me this night, for it is written, I will strike shepherd, and the sheep of the flocks will be scattered. But after I have been raised, I will be for you. Peter answered and said to him, even if all are made to stumble because of you, I will never be made into stumble. Jesus said to him, certainly I say to you, this night before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Peter said to him, even if I have to die with you, I will not deny you. And so said to disciples. Then Jesus came with them to the place called, I can't pronounce that word, and said to the disciples, sit here while I go pray over the 2 sons. And he began to sorrow deeply. Then he said to them, my soul is extremely swollen, even to death. Stay here and watch with me. He went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, oh, my Father, if it's possible, let this cup pass from me, nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will. Then he came to the disciples and found them sleeping and said to Peter, what could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray, lest you'll enter into the temptations. The spirit is in need and is willing, but the flesh is weak. Again, the second time he went away and prayed, saying, oh, my Father, if this cup cannot pass away from me unless I drink it, you will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. So he left them, went away again, and prayed the 3rd time, saying to the same words. Then he came to his disciples and said to them, are you still sleeping, resting? Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is beginning to betray into his hands of sinners. Rise, let us be gone. See, my betrayal is at hand. And while he was still speaking, behold, Judas, one of the 12, with a great multitude with sword and clubs, came from the chief priest and elder of the people. Now his betrayal had given them a sign, saying, whoever I kiss, he is the one, seize him. Immediately he went up to Jesus and said, greetings, and kissed him. But Jesus said to him, friend, why have you come? Then they came and laid hands on Jesus and took him. And suddenly one of those who were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew his sword, struck the servant of the high priest, and cut off his ear. But Jesus said to him, put your sword in its place, for all who take the sword will perish by the sword. Or do you think that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he will provide me with more than 12 of the angels. How then could the scriptures of be fulfilled? That must be happening thirst. And that hour said to the multitudes, have you come out as against a robber with sword and a club to make me? I sat daily with you, teach me terms, and you did not seize me. But all this was done, that scripture of might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsake him and fled, and those who had laid hold of Jesus led him away. The high priests were the scribe and the elder were as stumbled, but Peter followed him and at a distance to the high priest country yard, and he went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests, the elders, and all the consuls sought false testimonies against Jesus and put him to death, but found none, even though many false witnesses came forward. They found none, but at last 2 false witnesses came forward and said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God, to build it in 3 days. And the high priest arose and said to him, do you answer nothing? What is it? These men testified against you. But Jesus kept silent, and the high priest answered and said to him, I put you under by the living of God. Tell us if you are the Christ of Son of God. Jesus said to him, it is as you said. Nevertheless, I say to you, hereafter you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power and coming on the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest tore his clothes, saying, he has spoken blasphemy. What further need do we have of witness? Look, now you have heard his, I can't pronounce that word. What do you think? They answered and said, he is discovering of death. Then they spat in his face, and beat him, and others struck him, and with the palm of their hands, saying to us, Christ, who is the one who struck you? Now Peter sat outside in the country yard, and a servant girl came to him, saying, you also were with Jesus. But he denied it before them all, saying, I don't know what you are saying. And when he had gone out of the gateway, another girl saw him and said, those were there. This fellow also was with Jesus of Nazareth. But again he denied with, I do not know, man. And a little later, those who stood by came up to said to Peter, certainly you also are one of them, for your speech betrays you. Then he began to curse and swear, saying, I don't know the man. Immediately a rooster crowed, and remembered the words of Jesus, who had said to him, before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. So he went out with and would be bitter. That is Matthew chapter 26. Hopefully really soon on a Wednesday I'll be reading 27. That was powerful. I'm gonna go now. We're in here like 14 minutes. If you like these type of videos, I'd love to have you come join me here on my journey. If you want to see more videos of me, maybe please hit the notification bell and that can happen. Until the next one, stay safe, stay blessed. Goodbye. I know it was long, sorry, but that was a chapter. Bye. But I hope you enjoyed it.